Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to bring you kind of what I do on a daily basis of if I'm just getting ready for work and I have some Zoom calls, kind of what I do to my face. It is a very quick kind of like 10-minute thing. I don't do a whole lot because sometimes you just don't have a lot of time to do makeup. And I am certainly one that for my extravagant looks will go kind of all out and will spend an hour or more on a look. But, more often than not, I have probably spent my life doing makeup within a 10 to 15 minute realm, if not maybe 30. But nowadays I do less when it comes to kind of everything. I am more into the natural is more for skin at least, and then kind of just adding things on to brighten up the face, make you look maybe a little bit more evened out, all that jazz. So I am going to go in first with what I really like to do. I don't often prime on days that I have just kind of easy makeup. I really like this Covergirl Skin Milk. I know some people don't and some people do. So you kind of just have to find foundation that you like. And I just go in and I put the foundation on where I want it. I usually apply the foundation on my sponge first and then just kind of tap and blend it all in. Don't forget your neck. Now I really like this foundation because the Skin Milk itself is pretty dewy finish for me, at least I think so, and it is nice for my skin that is usually more dry, especially in the winter. Ooh, we're getting that bad pilling that sometimes I get with this foundation and I don't always know why. And that's people's complaint on this foundation, but I like it enough and I like the finish enough that I continue to use it. Obviously I'm going to like finish up a product that I have, but I'm gonna look for some more, but I probably would buy this again. I heard sometimes it might be just kind of like a batch thing, that maybe this was a bad batch. I don't know, but I still like Skin Milk. Whatever. I am next going to go into Maybelline Age Rewind. I do kind of little swipes there around my nose, on my chin, anywhere that I kind of want to brighten or make a little bit more, not as discolored, just kind of perfect the skin. Is where I like to add my concealer. Around my nostrils definitely is where I get quite red. In your T-zone, you have a lot more kind of blood vessels, and that's why it's usually a bit more red. Then under my eye, I don't do as much concealer that I feel like a lot of people probably do or see online. But I don't think makeup is something that is supposed to be perfect all the time. Oh, look at how weird that is. I haven't had this happen too much, so that's what's kind of strange about this. Great. Of course it's gotta happen during the video, right? I mean, well, I guess I don't think it is Age Rewind. I do think the culprit is much more the Skin Milk, but either way, really odd. I don't remember getting such bad splotchiness. Kind of you see here, I'm not 100% sure why that's really happening. I did put on a pretty hydrating eye cream, but I don't often get that kind of issue. But luckily with cream products, you can use your fingers, you can use a sponge, really kind of work them in. But it is just kind of odd here. I haven't gotten this bad of this like pilling with this before. And it's too bad because I had to kind of almost wipe away some of the product here. So I think I'm actually gonna go back in with the concealer, tap on a little more, and perhaps it's the sponge, but I'm gonna go in with my finger. And if you don't have tools, I do recommend a couple of tools. A sponge is really nice in making your skin once you or as you apply a foundation, look a little bit more realistic. At least in my opinion, I think it helps to make things look not as caked on. And here you can see with the finger, applying that concealer, kind of trying to help any of the discoloration that I have right underneath my eyes. Because yeah, I think that CoverGirl really was doing something weird. I am to like the bottom of my tube, but I don't know. I like how it looks. I guess I just need to find something that doesn't do that pilling, because that is annoying, definitely. I am going to go in just with a face powder. This is a brush I do like to have, is something kind of small that I can go right under my eye. I do like to make sure I am tapping out any creases, so I am not going in with powder and like making my eye creases more creasy. You wanna, you know, make them not crease. I do go up into my T-zone with my powder, across my nose, down and around my chin, because these are all areas for me that do tend to get more oily as the day goes on. Then next, I do use contour and bronzer, as I do want to create shape and definition. This is a kind of brush that I do think would be very helpful for most people to have, is something that is kind of like a fluffy, more so angle brush to go in and apply around your hairline some of a bronzer or a contour, something to help give a little bit more definition to your face. Will always help you look, I think, a little bit more put together, especially going right under that cheekbone area of the cheeks and blending that in and going down around the jaw. I will always try to hit that just because it will help to make you look a little bit more refined and defined by having just a bit of the shadow right underneath that cheek area. Now, I don't usually spend a whole lot of time with primers or anything on my lids, but while I have this out, I will take a brush also and just tap into here and do a little bit of shading into my crease area, but not a whole lot. I don't need a whole lot of stuff going on my lids, but if I just take something fluffy and kind of build up just a little bit of definition in my crease area, that can always help to make you look a little bit more defined, a little bit more put together, because in our next kind of step here, we're going to add our blush and our highlight, which will also help us look a little bit more awake and put together. So I really do love this. This is the Cheek Slime from Freck. This stuff is really nice. I think it gives a beautiful finish to the skin if you are into liquid or kind of cream blushes. You can use this on your lips as well, but I haven't had as much luck on my lips of making it look as nice. But I do like to go kind of the top points of my cheek, bring this in and blend it on down, and I don't have too many issues. I didn't powder my cheeks. I powdered kind of under my eye, but kind of going and bringing this up and tapping it all the way up kind of around your temple and bringing down, it really does add a nice kind of flush to the cheek. Sometimes I also like to build up a little bit of color under the bridge of my nose, just so that it looks a little bit more natural. Then I am going to go in with my highlight. I've been loving my Ofra highlight from NikkieTutorials. And Ofra, I think this is Glow Goals, the name of this highlight. It's just blinding. And highlight is not for everyone, but if there is anything that kind of helps to make your skin really look alive, a nice highlight will do it. Now, this highlight is pretty extreme. If you don't want something as full on, you can always tap right over it again with your brush or with your sponge, and that will help to kind of blend things in and diminish things a little bit. I'm also going to take it underneath my brow to help build up that point. I will take some on the tip of my nose and across the bridge of my nose, and some on the Cupid's bow as well is always nice, but I don't usually end up doing a whole lot more than this, except for taking it on my finger and I will go across my lid and add some of that shine onto the lid. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that is something that, you know, when you're doing kind of a quick look, I like to get into the inner corner a little bit, highlight that up, go back into my blending sponge. I'm mixing up brush and sponge, aren't I? Go back into your blending brush, blend out the edges, maybe blend out a little bit underneath whatever is on here. I didn't even add more product. Sometimes it is just the act of blending itself that will help to make everything look a little bit more defined. Now, honestly, for lips, I usually don't do much when it comes to days like this. I throw on a balm and that's about it. If you feel like you need some color on your lips, I suggest maybe a gloss or a tinted balm, something like that, to give you just a little bit of color. Also, if you do want color, you could go into your cheek product, like this cheek slime. I can put just a little bit here on my finger. I can add a little bit of color to my lips. Ooh, and the lights are going to turn back on. Yeah, kind of a fun thing that those do. Go in, I added a little bit of that peachy color, but overall, this is a pretty basic look. Another step that I try to make sure I always get in is my brows. And I have a pretty decent amount of brow hair here, which really is a nice thing when it comes to doing quick makeup, because I can just go in here, kind of fluff them up. I really love this brow styler from Almay. I have really grown to kind of just only using this and this alone, as I think it's enough for me and my brows, and I think looks the most kind of natural when it comes to how my hair is right now, as my hair is pretty short. But I like to go in, it's basically a tinted mascara for your brows, and you just go in, and I like to kind of flick my brows up, helps to keep everything going up. If it gets on the skin at all, you can kind of just tap it away with your fingers. It's pretty forgiving, which is nice. I believe my color is the medium brown, but it does come in some other shades as well, a blonde and a dark brown, I know for sure. So here, I like to see, kind of tap and try to get the hairs to pick up a little bit more. But yeah, you definitely would need to have some bit of hair in your brow in order to do this. Now, if I ever feel like I put too much product on, which I kind of did, I do have just kind of a basic clean spoolie around. Well, this one's just got some fuzz in it. And I can just take my spoolie and kind of comb through my brow. I kind of have this weird bald spot that keeps popping up on my brow, so not sure what that's all about, but I can kind of comb through and adjust my brows if need be. But remember, brows are sisters. They are not twins. They are not going to be perfect. They are not going to be exactly the same. Then really, after this, my skin is pretty much done. I don't really do too much. Sometimes I will go in with like a spray. This is just Mario Badescu Skin Mist. Now this one's almost gone, so it might leave some bigger splotches, as you can see, that I'll just kind of tap away, but I definitely like to use up all product that I can. If you feel like you have maybe a bit too much something somewhere, or you know, your highlight looks too strong or your bronzer looks too strong, just try to pat it away with your sponge. You know, makeup is pretty forgiving when you're going in with a light hand. It's something that can be pretty easily worked with. Then lastly, I definitely do mascara. I think a lot of people probably do brows and mascara on a pretty regular basis. I also go in and curl my lashes. For me, my lashes stick straight down. It is not something that I really love. And I am on my goal. My goal this year is to hopefully find a mascara that is drugstore that actually helps to hold my curl. That is not waterproof. That is the caveat. plenty of pretty good mascaras I can use that are waterproof, that hold my curl real well. But I do that, especially on days like this where I don't have a whole lot going on. I make sure to throw on a mascara that is going to help my curl, because I want to keep my eyes open. It is all about making sure that you look awake and fresh and vibrant and ready to take on the day. So I go in, I am using currently, this is just a tube of Lash Blast. And Lash Blast was the mascara that I use pretty much all throughout high school. I now also like the Covergirl Exhibitionist. That's a great mascara, along with Lash Paradise. That's also a good one. I did just order the Sky High mascara. I believe that's Maybelline. And see, when you get a little bit, you can wait for it to dry, but when you don't have a whole lot going on your lids, you kind of can just scratch it off, go in, kind of blend over perhaps where you might see that you kind of touched it, but just go over your lashes, comb through, give yourself a good coat of mascara, and that will definitely help to waken up your eyes. I do a little hit underneath as well on my lower lashes, but I don't go as hard. And your lower lashes, if they touch, could also smudge, so you just want to be careful when applying mascara to your lower lashes. Just take your time, if you got the time. But yeah, this is pretty much a basic look that I do on days where I'm not doing too much. Sometimes if you want to really like kick it up or make something a little bit more, add a different color to the lids, do something a little bit more vibrant with your lip. Sometimes it is better to have something a little bit deeper on the lip just to show where your lips are, what you're talking about, that sort of thing. Any sort of kind of extra little color onto the lip can be helpful, can add a little bit of this is a interesting like Jordana stick lip kind of product that has a bunch of different little lippies within here, but something to give the lips a little color is never a bad thing. But ultimately I end up going over everything with a nice balm. Keeping your lips looking shiny and hydrated always is a good sign of good health. So yeah, other than that, I don't really do too much on my everyday makeup. Sometimes maybe I'll add a wing into my line, into like my lash line. But yeah, other than that, this is pretty much it. This is kind of my like 10-minute makeup routine. And yeah, I will sometimes throw things in that are a little different if I'm looking to spice it up, but if I need something quick, this is what I do. So hopefully this helped you. I think really you can create a beautiful, simple look with pretty minimal amount of products, and just make sure that you are doing things that you want to do for yourself. When it comes to makeup, don't feel like you're forced to have to do anything or wear makeup just because other people are. Do it because you want to do it, or have fun, or experiment, or whatever it is. I definitely have my days where I don't wear makeup at all, and I am certainly just as beautiful then as I am right now. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and wherever you are and whatever you may be doing, I hope you are able to do something you love every single day. Thank you again for being here. See you on the next one. Bye.